And good morning, everyone. Welcome back. Hope you had a fantastic weekend. My name is Don K. Preston. I am the president of Preterist Research Institute of Ardmore, Oklahoma, and this is what I call my morning musings. I have just completed a series examining the objections of Dr. William Lane Craig, a man for whom I have the utmost respect, and his objections against covenant eschatology or preterism. And I've demonstrated a flawed hermeneutic there, and how Dr. Craig's objections simply really are not valid objections at all. But beginning today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a little bit of introduction. I've recently produced a 13-week series, DVD series, on the book of Malachi. I tell you, I'm really, really excited about this. The book of Malachi is a book that has a profound influence on our understanding of the New Testament, the message of the New Testament, all the way from the calling of the Gentiles to its influence on eschatology, the millennial temple, the doctrine of the millennium, the ministry of John the Baptizer, on and on. So what I'm going to do in the next few sessions, 5 or 6 sessions perhaps, is I'm going to share with you just a little bit of a snippet from some of the lessons on the DVD series on the book of Malachi. Hopefully it will pique your curiosity. Hopefully it will cause you to say, hey, I want that series on the book of Malachi. Like I said, I'm super excited about this. I really had been studying the book of Malachi for a good long time. And it just kept striking me how many times the New Testament writers refer to the book of Malachi. They echo its language in its motifs, in its themes, in its direct citations. And it dawned on me that perhaps it would be a good idea for me to go back and look at the book of Malachi in a little bit more of a systematic, a little bit more of an in-depth exegetical manner. Now, my study is not a verse-by-verse. It's a thematic study of the book of Malachi, this last prophet of the Old Testament. But what I saw as I began to study, that the book of Malachi unfolded in such an incredible way, thematically, that it just blew my mind about what a rich study this is. Now, in introductory lesson number 1, and like I said, I'm only going to touch on some of the very, very brief highlights. I point out how the book of Malachi gives us into God's method of choosing, of election. Because Malachi chapter 1, Yahweh speaks to Israel, and he said, I have loved you, says the Lord, yet you say, well, in what way have you loved us? And he says, was not Esau Jacob's brother, says the Lord? Yet Jacob I have loved, Esau I have hated, and laid waste his mountains and his heritage for the jackals of the wilderness. Now, I'm not going to dwell on the issue of the election, but notice that the election here, while it goes back to the doctrine or to the example of God choosing Jacob over Esau individually, yet the application is corporate. God's choosing of Israel as a nation was a corporate election, not an individual election. And that has profound implications for our understanding of election in the New Testament, when the New Testament writers, Paul especially, in Romans 9 through 11, discusses the election. Israel has not attained that for which she sought, but the elect has. Here is a corporate concept and a corporate discussion of election. And it has to do here with the righteous remnant, corporately considered, but still the doctrine of election corporately discovered, corporately discussed. So, as just an initial, kernel of thought for piquing your curiosity about the book of Malachi. In the introductory remarks, I talk about Israel and her election and its implications for our understanding of election when we come to the New Testament. This is a fantastic issue and a fantastic discussion. Look, order your copy of the special study on Malachi. I only have this up on my BibleProphecy.com website. Go to BibleProphecy.com, order the series on Malachi. It is regularly $29.95. If you order this and say, I saw the special offer on YouTube and Facebook, $25. Now this is for a limited time only while I am doing this series. Once I've completed this series here on YouTube and Facebook, the regular price will be in effect, okay? Go to my website, BibleProphecy.com, order the series on Malachi, mention that you saw the offer on YouTube and Facebook, and the price will be $25. Thanks for joining me for this morning's Morning Musings. I hope you'll be looking forward to this, brief, ever so brief insight into the book of Malachi over the next 5 or 6 lessons, because this is some really good stuff. We'll see you on the flip side.